What's going on, everyone? We got a really good article here and statement by Dell that came unexpected. You want to talk about people who've been in the industry just as long as Microsoft and them. This is actually surprising. Yeah, this is going to be a good one because this basically throws a wrench and a shot into Microsoft's face along with the Xbox brand, who, if you saw Xbox Magnus, is going to be full-blown Windows 11 AI. Yeah. Dell says this. Dell pulls back AI first push after admitting customers aren't interested. Whoa, hold up. Somebody actually has some eyes and ears here and awareness and all of this chaos, right? And tech corporate profit greed just going for that straight up and manipulating. Dell comes out among one of the four chosen by SK Hynix, if you guys know, and Samsung, and basically says they're pulling back on AI first. And they admitted it that people aren't interested in it, and there's a huge backlash. They're actually facing the music here. This is going to benefit them more. This is actually really good, seeing this among all the chaos that's happening. Yeah, this is crazy. It says, yeah, guys, I wonder if Microsoft has seen this. I guarantee you they have. It says, while most PC manufacturers have leaned heavily into AI marketing, yeah, as we know, that's been going on massively. Dell is the first to come out and publicly admit that it will scale back the AI-focused strategy. Dell admits that customers don't care about AI-based products, pulls back its efforts in AI-first marketing. Finally, someone has decided not to push AI down consumers' throats. Yeah, like Copilot being forced in and all that type of stuff, right? That's why people are definitely rebelling against Windows 11 and hoping that Valve can do something with Steam OS or Linux and make, you know, Linux laptops, Linux desktops that are Steam oriented, specifically for gaming, right? That would be cool. And I think people will just get them too, just because they have that. And then if Dell's going to push back, I wonder what they're going to be doing. Because it's interesting, because like I said, they were one of the four chosen on with Lenovo, Apple, Asus. They were one of the four among with them. So yeah, they decided not to do that. The giant tech companies were not hesitant to spam AI throughout their presentations, but Dell had a different approach. If you have read our CES coverage on Dell products, you might have noticed that unlike other vendors, it didn't slap the AI tag on every product. Yeah, from the Alienware 2026 laptop lineup to the upcoming Area 51 desktop, Dell kept most of its talks limited to gaming and productivity. Hey, this is good news. You know, back then, Dell was kind of like anti-consumer in certain ways, right? They were always overpriced, and even certain times, like, man, why are these Alienware so overpriced, right? And they finally come out and say something intelligent that I didn't think that would come out of the company, but they said it, though. This is huge. While these PCs are definitely AI capable, yeah, of course, still going to push that in a way. You can't escape from that. Definitely going to be chosen. Dell has pushed back on unnecessary efforts in a lot of AI-first marketing. In an interview with PC Gamer, Dell's head of product, Kevin Terwilliger, I think that's how you say it, Terwilliger, talked about what has been on everyone's mind since the time companies started to spam AI on every product. Yeah. The AI marketing started becoming too noisy with the current gen products, such as the latest CPUs and GPUs from three giants. Yeah, I think we know about that. Apparently, Dell has now woken up to what consumers really want. Round of applause. In the CES pre-briefing, Dell VC and COO Jeff Clark said that AI demand is an unmet promise. They already see the bubble coming to pop. This is right in Microsoft's face. Over the past year, AI futures have been aggressively marketed across nearly all consumer electronic products. Yeah, pretty much. Regardless of their practical value, yeah, I mean, a lot of it is too many mistakes, right? Talk about crashing the airports last year, if you guys remember that with the Microsoft security update. Yeah, that was the AI. Due to this aggressive marketing, consumers have grown increasingly frustrated, particularly because the same AI has caused the immense DRAM shortage in the market. One thing you'll notice is the message we delivered around our products was not AI first. So a bit of a shift from a year ago where we were all about the AI PC. That's what they said. They said they were there. Now they changed their minds, guys. This is good. we're very focused on delivering upon the AI capabilities of a device. In fact, everything that we're announcing has an NPU in it. But what we've learned over the course of this year, especially from a consumer perspective, because they're able to look from that, is that they're not buying based on AI. This is one of the biggest things right here. What does that say again? They're not buying based on AI. Another round of applause. There you go, Dell. In fact, I think AI probably confuses them. Guys, are we reading this? How is it again? In fact, I think AI probably confuses them more than it helps them understand a specific outcome. Yeah. Said right here by Mr. Kevin Willinger, Dell head of product. So he's the head of the product. Hey, I like this guy right here. He said something very intelligent. You know, guys, this is really nice coming in the midst of this AI goose chasing hell, along with, you know what I mean, greed, manipulation, and all that, because I don't just believe in that. No, I believe you're actually producing more than you ever have, and you have more supply than ever, not Dell, but all these companies, but you're deciding to feed it all to AI and cheap out and give people older products because you don't want to give them anything of the current lineup. I mean, is this more obvious? Look at NVIDIA giving you older cards and not even having supers for the first time in like over 5 to 6 years. And then saying that you're not going to even get the 6000 lineup to maybe like the second half of Q2 of 2027. That's not going to be there at the beginning either. Oh boy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have been seeing that. It's like, oh man. So it says, as you can see, Kevin did admit that the customers don't really care about AI. No, they don't. And people are getting tired of it because all it's been doing is causing people to be more slow, more brain dead in a lot of ways, jack up the prices, make so many mistakes, ruining gaming, Unreal Engine 5 slop, micro slop, rushed out slop, shortcuts, fake frames, though NVIDIA does a good job with it, but even then, you get what I mean? Like, when you think about all the things that it's doing, it's not benefiting you, and then you may see like early signs of a late game Terminator phase from military aspects and robots running around with guns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And writing what majority of the part of people's code now and making all these mistakes. Customer service is not really there for human resources. Like I said, we have the most broken generation of all time, but things have went up more than ever and things are backwards. Nothing is going down in price. Why would the consumer like the AI, if you think about the consumer point of view? No, it doesn't make any sense. It's really refreshing to see that some companies reassessing their approach and are understanding what users actually want. That would be intelligent. However, this mindset is needed more than ever. 100%. Right here. Understanding, keywords here, guys, understanding what users or consumers actually want. And the mindset is needed more than ever, particularly for gamers. Yes, because that's the biggest industry. You know what I mean? And you're kind of like ruining it big time, who are tired of seeing AI spammed on every product. That's why you had the microslop meme pop up in this world, which is actually pretty funny. So going down here, this guy says, my monitor is Dell 2416D, 24 inches, 25 or 1440p, 60 hertz IPS. I have it since June 2016. Since then, I have upgraded the whole PC, CPU, RAM, and motherboard in 2017, SSD in 2020, graphics card in 2021. And in a few months, I will change CPU, RAM, and motherboard when Zen 6 and Novel AKE releases. AI exists since 1 year ago, and all big websited have it, but the truth is, I don't notice any big difference. No, people are taking shortcuts and made developers get more lazy and just hit auto switches and release out broken products, which is not good. So that doesn't make developers better. They need to learn how to develop from the lowest denominator all the way up to the highest first without AI, and then add that in as a, you know, present to say it's helping you, but it's rasterized and it's optimized fully. When we talk about GPU releases too. So this guy says, like you see, Kevin did admit that customers don't really care about AI. Gee, thanks for finally acknowledging the thing everyone knew from the start. Really worth the 3-figure salary. Yeah, instead of Satya, who's coming out saying, please stop calling it microslop and ignoring why consumers feel that way. It's like, come on, man, really? People are not interested because those Dell products really can't run any AI for real. Call me when we have 96 gigabyte VRAM GPU plus 256 gigabytes of DDR6 as mainstream for like 1500 to actually run AI locally at a good speed. I know what he means when he's talking about that in that sense, because right now, like I said, they're just kind of trying to mass feed everything on that, though it's not fully optimized to fully do that. Obviously, NVIDIA is doing what they're doing, but that's NVIDIA. outside of that, when you're really looking at the whole market and how it's always fluctuated, definitely when you think about Microsoft having a foundation into software and Windows, and them just going full-blown AI, but Copilot is falling behind and Gemini is getting ahead of it. People are not trusting them. They get that deal with Samsung. They stormed out the building angry. Investors are pulling out. I don't know. You tell me. You know what I mean? It's like, let's get smart here. And then screwing over the Xbox brand completely. So, and CUDA. Don't forget CUDA. Nothing without CUDA. If you want your customers to run away from you, just use AI. And no matter what, all companies, you know, AMD, Intel, Microsoft, NVIDIA will keep pushing this BS. Yeah, I know what this guy means. So, yeah, I mean, good stuff here, guys. Some sanity, but it's still Dell. And so same consumers avoid that regardless of AI, whatever. I mean, it could be PR, but once again, somebody coming out saying this, being in a tech giant situation that was chosen as one of the 4 pillars from the rail cartel industry. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see that. Finally, some sanity in the market. Props to Dell. So yeah, people are coming down saying something positive here. We don't see any politics, which I think is kind of funny. So let me know what you guys think about this. This is definitely a shot in Microsoft's face. Not that they wouldn't intentionally do that, but this is good to see. You know, as usual, bringing you some amazing content and, you know, having all different subjects to cover here. Later, y'all. Hang in there and keep gaming.